this week's episode of the Promo Republic Agency and Freelancer Academy webinar series. This week is chapter 11. If you can all hear me okay, please just let me know in the chat box. Please come and say hello. Let me know that everything is working okay for us. Perfect. Great. That is good news. Hi Sherry. Hello Todd. Hi Gareth, Mary, Monica, Marklo, Alex, Jay, Albiona. Great. Looks like we have a good number of people here today, which is awesome news. So what we will do, like usual, is we will get this webinar started in a few minutes. First things first, though, we need to just wait around because unfortunately not everybody always shows up the minute these webinars start. So it makes sense to just wait a couple of minutes until everyone's here and then we are ready to go. So typically I will wait until around about 5 minutes past the hour and then we'll get started. So if you are here and you're ready, thank you. Just maybe go and grab a drink or get a notepad ready or something like that, and then we will get started in a couple of minutes. I'm also just having some issues uploading the presentation deck to this webinar software. So we may have to just go with a screen share rather than uploading the deck into the software, which should still work fine, but I'll just play around with that for a couple of minutes whilst we're waiting for everybody else to come and join us. So for anyone who has just joined us, we are just going to give it a couple more minutes until everybody is here, and then we'll get things and get started. And I'm still just trying to load the slide deck because I've been having a couple of slight issues. So hopefully we will be able to get that going very soon. You may just have to bear with us for a couple of moments. Hello to Malcolm and Aurora and David. It's great to see you all here. Okay, Mary, I see you in the chat box. Yep, I just spotted your email, so sorry for missing that one. I'll get back to you on that as soon as I can. After this webinar, I'll make sure I get back to you. Okay, everyone, so we will get started in a couple of seconds. I'm just waiting to see, I'm just trying to upload one different file into the software to see if that will work. If not, we will just go with the kind of old school screen sharing methods. Great. It looks like we have been able to get the slide deck uploaded. Great. Here we go. So just a quick question. Can everybody see the slide deck on the screen, or like the presentation deck on the screen? Great. Awesome. That is great. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so let's get into things. Everyone, if you are new around here, I will go through a full introduction in a moment and explain what this webinar is all about. If you are returning, then welcome back. Actually, it'll be really interesting to know how many of you are new. How many of you is this your first like Agency and Freelancer Academy webinar? Let me know and just say like new in the chat box or say first time or something like that. Wow. Okay, cool. There is a lot of new people this week, which is great to see. So welcome to Marklo, Todd, Michael, David, Alex, Aurora, Monica, Lennis, Jay, Malcolm, Katarina, Eduardo, and another Michael as well. That is great to see, and Connor too. Awesome. So it's great to see so many new people here. I can also see some familiar faces in the attendees list as well, which is great. Usually I don't sound quite as hoarse as this, shall we say. I've been pretty ill this week. I have a kind of chest infection all week, so this is actually like my first afternoon doing anything for the whole week. So I may have to take a couple more swigs of water than normal or a few more little breaks. So please bear with me. Jay, yes, you did miss 10 chapters, but the good news about that is you can catch up on all of those 10 chapters. I'm going to share a link with you right here in a second, so that you can see all of this content that we've put together for you, because I think you'll find that extremely useful. Okay, cool. So it's great to see so many new people here on this webinar. How many of you have used Promo Republic before, or like understand what Promo Republic is all about? How many of you are current users? How many of you are completely new around here? This is just interesting for me to find out actually before we get into everything. Awesome. So Todd says he's using it right now on his other monitor. Mary says current user, Eduardo user, I think Malcolm not used before. Okay. So hopefully we have like a good balance of people that are current users, not current users, which is really useful for us. Okay, cool. So these webinars will be, if you're new around here, which a lot of you are, these webinars will be fairly interactive. I try and make sure that they're as engaging as possible, but also extremely value driven too. Okay, so I'm actually going to share with you all right now so that you can catch up on like previous webinars, etc. I will share the link with you to that in a second. Actually, I'm struggling to find it. So I'll do that at the end. I'll share the link with you to the hub. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how you can automate your social media and your kind of agency, your agency-ness. How many of you are interested in hearing about that today? Okay. Awesome. That's great. That is great to hear. So lots of people are interested in this topic, which is cool. So this is what we're going to cover today. This webinar will probably be around 35 minutes long, 40 minutes, and there will be plenty of time for like questions and answers, and as I said, a lot of open dialogue, and also a few water breaks for me. So bear with me. The agenda is we're going to cover what do we actually mean by automation? What is automation? How can you leverage it in business? How you can automate some of your operations and some kind of automation tips around operations, and then how you can come to automate your social media marketing. So for all you new people, this is me. My name is Dylan Hay, and just like a number of you here, I am also a digital marketing agency owner and founder. So I work like with Promo Republic. I don't work for them. I'm leading this Agency and Freelancer Academy series because Promo Republic have very recently released an incredible platform for agency owners and for freelancers, a new version of their platform, the agency version of Promo Republic. And one of the biggest considerations for them was, okay, as a team and as a business, they want to be doing everything they can to really help invest and educate the market. They felt like one of the best ways to do that would be by providing as much free education as possible and leveraging people like myself and some other kind of high level people and high profile people to help out with that education. So they're spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of confidence in this agency and freelancer academy and the agency solution. And this is completely focused on helping you guys. So I just want to make clear that I am also an agency owner, like a lot of you. Before setting up my own digital marketing agency, I actually set up my agency in May of this year. Before that, I've worked for a number of different and interesting companies, one of which being Hootsuite, who I'm sure a lot of you know, kind of a Promo Public competitor, big company Hootsuite. I've looked after growth, business development, marketing for some fast-growing startups as well, companies like Leadfeeder, where we went from like 14, 15 employees to 45 employees in less than 12 months, which was a really awesome journey. I'm super passionate about social media marketing, about personal branding. I host a iTunes podcast called the Social Media Growth Show, which one time is ranked as highly as number 11 in the charts on iTunes. There's not been any new episodes on that for a while because I'm currently restructuring that, but very successful podcast. I have a big Facebook group of my own. I have a number of mentees that I coach, and my work has been featured by some cool websites like BuzzFeed and Thrive and FutureSharks, etc. So we're not here to talk all about me today. We're here to focus on helping you, adding value to you, helping you take your agencies forward to the next level. But for anyone that is new, because I know there's a lot of you, this is just a real quick introduction to me and what I'm all about. So we're going to get started by talking about what is it that we actually mean by automation, because I think this is a really important question. Automation is kind of like a buzzword, I would say, right now, that a lot of people are saying, whether agency owners, people in general marketing. Like automation is a word that's being thrown around a lot, and there's also a lot of kind of negative connotations attached to automation too. So I thought it'd be important to just talk a little bit first about exactly what automation actually is. And I thought a good starting point to do that would be to look at what is the actual dictionary definition for automation. And this is exactly what it is. So the technique, method, or system of operating or controlling a process by highly automatic means, as by electronic devices, reducing human intervention to a minimum. So it's quite word heavy, shall we say? But basically, this is saying that automation, we want to look at it as a way that you can take a process or a system or something that you do and remove as much like effort as possible or human intervention as possible, bring that down to a minimum, and use either like machines, other people, contractors, tools to reduce that human intervention. Or at least that's how I interpret this definition. I know that this focuses on completely on like electronic devices and tools. I also feel like as a kind of way of automation is leveraging other people's time as well. So maybe leveraging freelancers, contractors to do work for you. I kind of see that as automation in a way, in a little way. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. I thought this would be funny. I was watching this film the other day, so I wanted to include a nice little meme in here for you all. So that's great. It's great to understand like what the definition of automation is and what it actually means. But what can automation, like what does it mean to you as an agency owner or as a freelancer or someone that's looking to grow their business? How can you use automation to help you out and to help your business grow, to take your business to the next level? As the owner and the operator of a digital marketing agency, I'm sure you have a lot on your plate right now. You're probably managing like your clients' Facebook ad campaigns. Maybe you're running some of their websites. You might be doing some blogs for them. You'll be scheduling tweets and Facebook posts. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But aside from that, there are also all of these day-to-day operations of your agency. What about the things like communication with your clients, communication with team, making sure everything behind closed doors is running smoothly? Somewhere in there, you also have to find time for doing things like billing your current clients and also for marketing your own business, doing your own lead generation so that you have new clients coming in. Because without that, what is your business, right? And that is a lot of stuff to handle. Sometimes people just think about the services that you offer, but what about everything behind the scenes? What about all the work you have to do to bring in your own clients, to run your business, to pay people, to get money coming through the door? There's so much to handle. And especially when you're trying to do this all on like using different tools and different platforms, you'll have things like your accounting software, maybe your email software, your payment systems, your CRMs, your automation tools. The lists just go on and on and on. You're probably spending like a ton of time managing your business when actually it's more than likely that you want to be spending it either working for your clients or working on the business. This is something that a couple of my mentors always tell me, is that they want me to be spending more time on the business rather than in the business. They don't want me to be in the kind of hands-on stuff. They want me to be focusing on the business and growing the business. So you'll be spending a lot of time managing your business when actually you should be spending it on working on your business or doing client work, etc. And I bet right now also some of that time is probably coming out of your own personal time, which you'd rather be spending with your family or friends or doing things that you enjoy. So the idea for me, and the idea of automation can help an agency owner, is that we leverage some automation so that we can get some of our time back and improve our workflows so that we can bring on more clients and that we can deliver a better service to our current clients. So what I want to ask from all of you before we move on to the next section of this webinar is, how many of you are using automation in your business right now? Or like, what are some of the best automation things that you're using, or what kind of automation are you running in your business? I'll ask you that whilst I just have a quick sip of my water. I can see a few people typing away, so I'm really interested to see the answers here. Cool. Okay, so Connor now is utilizing email automation, which is a good one. David, invoice requests, social media scheduling. Heidi says QuickBooks for finance management. Sherry says email, social media posting. Todd says Promo Public, Social Pilot, Pixteller. This is great. This is really cool because it's interesting for me to see what people are doing right now. Some of the stuff I'm going to talk about you may be doing already. Some of it may be new. Some of it you may not even have thought about as automation. But I'm going to go through some like simple things that hopefully you can introduce to your businesses, speed up your workflows to get more time back, so that you can be doing what it is that you love, as well as Promo Republic for campaign management and engagement management. Awesome. So we have a number of great answers there, and interesting things and different things people are leveraging automation to help them with their businesses, which is really great to see. Now, the first section, or kind of the second section of this webinar, sorry, is focusing on the more operational side of your business and how you can automate some of your operations. So I want to say I'm not like telling you to automate all of your operations, and I'm not telling you to do anything. This is just my experience and my advice and what I'm learning, because I'm still learning too. I've not been running my agency for that long, but we've done okay so far. So I think it's really important to think about what you can actually automate. So first, I want you to complete a small kind of activity for me, and you don't have to do this right now, but at least promise me you will write this down in your notepad or make a note, and you'll think about doing this, because this will be a value for you all. So I want you to do one of two things. Look at your calendar for the entire week. If you're one of those people this week, I want you to use a time tracking system, or just a pen and notepad, and note down every single thing you do, or in like chunk, write that saying that the audio is dropping in and out. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Let's hopefully it will come back in a second. I'm just going to try and mute the audio and then turn the audio back on and see if that makes a difference. Okay, can everybody hear me okay now? Great. Okay, so I didn't do anything. I literally turned the audio off and turned it back on. So apologies that it was cutting out. Sometimes it happens with this click meeting, but hopefully it will be okay. So how much of that did you hear about the activity that I was saying for you? Just in case, I'll go through it, saying that I think you should look at your calendar. So do one of two things: either look at your calendar if you're one of those people that tracks absolutely everything. Look at your calendar for a week, or the other option is track your time for an entire week, everything in 30-minute blocks. I want you to track it either using a time tracking tool or in your notepad. Every single day, write down everything that you do by step in 30-minute blocks. So, for example, if I from 8 a.m. to 8:30, I'm doing email. 8:30 to 9, I'm doing social media content. Anything like that. Just track everything for a whole week, and then at the end of that week, I want you to look through what you're doing on a daily basis for that week, and it will be extremely clear to you where you're spending most of your time and what you're spending too much time on. Because I want you to break down those activities that you're doing and put like a value on those activities and put a value on your time as well. So I never charge hourly rates, but hourly consultation phone calls. So I know what I would charge an hour, and then I look at the tasks that I've been doing not worth what my hourly rate is. And if they're not, I will either find a tool that can do it for me, so I'll automate it, or I'll outsource it to a contractor or a freelancer. So this is the first thing that I want you to do. Did everybody hear that? Hopefully that came through to you all. Okay. Any issues again? Okay. So I think Heidi there is saying that that came through. Okay. So we'll continue. But yes, I think that is a really important exercise that you should all do first, because that can what it is that you can outsource, where to spend your time, etc. For it will seem fairly difficult at first because like it seems like a lot of work to track it. It'll be nice. A couple of different. Can you to grow and bring in revenue? So again, apologies about that. Okay, so everyone is having audio issues. Okay. Okay. I can only apologize, everyone. I'm really sorry about this. Unfortunately, that is not a time. Bear with me. I'm going to see if I can do anything. about this, everybody. It's Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? This is an absolute nightmare. I'm so sorry. I can only apologize. I've been asking. I would love for us to switch to another webinar software, but I believe there are some reasons why the team utilize ClickMeeting. But yeah, I completely understand everybody's frustration. So I can only apologize once again. Yeah, Sherry, there are problems with my internet or anything like that. I live in Tallinn here in Estonia, where the Wi-Fi speeds are extremely fast. So no problems with that. No problems with my audio setup. I do my own podcast, so this audio setup is worth like a couple $1,000. So yeah, unfortunately, it just seems to be an issue whenever we try and utilize ClickMeeting, because I often do tons of webinars. I do tons of interviews, videos, etc. So, yes. Okay, everyone. So, like, I'm so sorry. Let's try and do this. If it drops off again, like, I was going to say everyone will get the recording. There will be a recording, but of course the audio will still be the same in the recording. But you should all get my slide and everything like that too. We'll go ahead and hopefully we can get through this. So, lead generation. Lead generation is absolutely key to making sure that your business continues to grow and bring in revenue. But it can, of course, be a time-consuming process, right? So one of my favorite ways of business is through outbound marketing, as this is scalable and it's easy to automate. And on the screen here are a couple of tools that I utilize and that my team utilize to bring in some automation into our lead generation process. So Reply.io is a email automation tool, like a cold email tool, and build out advanced messaging sequences. You have analytics. It's really, really great. I'd really recommend it. Then there's a tool called Linked Helper, which is a LinkedIn automation tool. It basically, in short, you visit people's profiles at scale. It enables you to send automated connection requests, follow-up messages on LinkedIn without having to manually do it all the time. And then tools like Find That Lead, Any Leads, Up Leads. These are all tools that help you find people's email addresses to add them to automation campaigns. Number two, meeting scheduling. I talk about this a ton, to be honest with you. It is usually consists of a time-consuming volley of emails. It's like people play email tennis when they set meetings, right? Trying to find a time that works for you and for the other person. And to be honest, I actually think it's selfish. If anyone doesn't have or utilize meeting scheduling software, I think it's selfish. This is kind of like an opinion of mine that not everybody will agree with, but I think if you don't have a booking link, I can't respect you as much as a business owner, just because time is so valuable, especially to me and to everyone. Like time is the only asset you can never buy more of and you can never get back, and everyone should treat their time that way and should treat it especially. So I use Zoom and Calendly for scheduling, Zoom and luckily, very, very recently, Zoom and Calendly just released their own native integration. Before, you had to use Zapier and set up some complicated things, which I was doing, whereas now they have a native integration. So people does meetings with people but doesn't use Calendly or Acuity Scheduler or something like that. Book Like a Boss is one that Sherry mentioned. Go ahead and set this up. It will save you a ton of time. Just like I know that everyone on this webinar has had that problem of playing email tennis trying to arrange meetings. I know you have. Okay, and apologies if I'm going fairly fast. I just try and get through this and share this all whilst the connection is. So number three, invoicing and payments. I know a few of you mentioned this earlier on in the webinar when I asked you what you're invoicing, or sorry, what you're automating. Some of you said invoicing, following up, etc. I've spoken about this a lot in previous webinars about how I feel like you should automate your invoicing and charging so that your customer doesn't feel buyer's remorse and so that you don't need to manually follow up with them. Buyer's remorse is what happens when the second someone purchases something, immediately they start to question that purchasing decision. It's just natural. Part of your brain will do that. How many times have you bought something and then thought, did I really need to buy that? And that happens every time that a business has to do a wire transfer for your monthly fee to your bank account. They have to manually go into their bank, manually input the amount of money, manually send the transaction, and every time they do that, it gives them an opportunity to feel buyer's remorse. Whereas if you utilize something like Stripe or PayPal or any of these other ones, you can set up automatic invoicing and payment so that once they pay once, each month the payment will come out of their account automatically or come off the card that they gave you automatically. And these softwares will also always send follow-up emails if people haven't paid the invoices and reminders, etc., so that you don't have to do that and so that you don't have to remember when you need to send your invoices. Because I know that is something that me personally, I used to mess up a lot. Actually, I would forget to send out invoices or I wouldn't follow up enough. And actually, since I started using like payment gateways and invoicing tools like this, my average payment time from invoicing, from like literally pressing send on an invoice to getting paid, currently sits at 1 day. And that's pretty, like, I'm super happy with that, because before everyone would wait until the due date, which is normally after 14 days. So sending the invoice, then getting payment would sometimes take 15 days and sometimes longer. So Joel says Active Collab has everything integrated from expenses to payment integration with gateways by project. Awesome. That's good advice. Thank you for sharing that with everybody, Joel. I appreciate it. Okay, and then number four, I've put this in. This is a little bit of a different one, but the king of all automation. How many of you know what Zapier is? I just want to ask, first of all, because you might all know what it is, but some of you might have no idea. Zapier is like literally the best tool ever. I use Zapier for so much stuff. Every company I've worked at for the last few years has used Zapier for a ton of stuff. But for anyone that doesn't know what Zapier is, it is basically like, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. I'm not a super technical guy myself, but Zapier lets you connect different apps with each other. It's almost like having like an API creator without having to make an API. So you can basically connect over 1,000 different apps together. So for example, one thing that I use is if I'm trying to think of a good example here. So before Zoom and Calendly launched their integration like 2 weeks ago, I used to use Zapier to say that whenever someone books a call with me via Calendly, it then creates a meeting in Zoom for me, and then the Zoom meeting information gets sent via Zapier into the calendar invite, where it gives them all of the steps that they need to take to get onto the call and the call link, etc. basically, Zapier, if you ever need to connect any of the tools that you use, I'm 90% sure Zapier will have some kind of solution for you. They have pretty much everything and anything you can imagine. It's very affordable. Anyone can use it. You don't have to be technical. So if you haven't heard of Zapier, please, please, please check it out. It will save you so much time and improve your workflows significantly. So we've talked about daily operations. Now let's talk about social media marketing tools. Before we get into like standard social media marketing, like social media management, I just want to talk about Facebook ads and PPC. These are 3 tools that I love, that I recommend. Adespresso, Companion Labs, Captain Growth. Have any of you heard of any of these before? I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of Adespresso, but you may not have heard of the other ones. And yes, Monica, there will be a recording that will be sent out to everyone. It will be on the agency and freelancer hub as well. So Adespresso is a tool that basically lets you create multiple ad sets and do loads of split testing for Facebook ads automatically. So you provide it with the different creatives and then it will create the different ad sets for you. It's a really great tool. When I worked at Hootsuite, we acquired Adespresso. I met the 2 founders a number of times in London, Massimo, and I can't remember the other guy's name actually, but they're 2 really cool guys. Great tool. Basically just speeds up that process of creating multiple ad sets for you. Companion Labs and Captain Growth are 2 AI-powered tools that basically, if you're running Facebook ads or PPC campaigns for your customers, it will provide suggestions based on artificial intelligence as to which ad sets maybe you should start to scale, which ones you should cut budget on, some suggestions for things that you could change or adjust to improve the results, etc. So anyone that's serious about Facebook ads or PPC that's runs a number of clients or is charging good money for PPC, I would definitely recommend checking out a couple of these tools. I would never rely 100% on them to make all of my decisions, but they can help inform your decisions. So this right here on the screen, I know it looks a bit messy, but this is a list of the current like social media tools landscape. So these are a load of different social media tools that are available right now. And we could spend hours and hours talking about social media automation. And you could spend hours and hours trying to find and piece together loads of different tools or experiment with different tools to work out which automation flows work best, etc. But to be honest, I think you would end up wasting a lot of time and a lot of money, because all of those subscriptions add up. Like, why use 10 different tools if you can use 1 or 2, right? And why test lots of different tools as well? So these subscriptions add up. I've been through it myself. I used to be this like SaaS junkie, almost, if you want to call it that. I would have so many different SaaS and software tools, so many different monthly subscriptions. It kind of got borderline ridiculous. So the great thing about social media management, and I'm saying this honestly because, as I told you all, I used to work at Hootsuite, one of the biggest players in this game. And honestly, right now, I think that for a social media marketing agency, the Promo Republic agency solution has absolutely everything that you need for social media automation or just social media marketing in general. And I'm just going to go through a few of those. So like, for example, the Post Ideas library. There's no other tools that have this. In the past, I was using, or my social media manager was using Canva and Adobe Spark to create graphics and images, etc. He would then download them onto his computer. He would then go to Hootsuite, upload the files into Hootsuite, and then schedule them. With Promo Republic, we have the Post Ideas library where there are already a load of templates, so you don't even have to think about what you're going to come up with. 100,000 different templates, which you can then edit yourself, but you can also like just schedule straight into Promo Republic without having to download them and go somewhere else. And I know that sounds very small, but just from one client, like literally working on one client, that saved my social media manager about 6 hours a week, not having to switch between all these different tools, download, upload, etc. And then of course you can also edit all of these as well. The graphics editor, similar to like a Canva tool, if you've used tools like that in the past, you can edit everything, change your fonts, your logos, all that great stuff. And of course, this is where the automation comes in, the kind of artificial intelligence automation where you can utilize smart posting, where the Promo Republic platform will suggest content types and also content times, and it will automatically schedule them and send them out at the best times for you. So this is some really smart and really clever automation so that you don't have to spend a ton of time in your analytics working out which times deliver the most engagement or the most reach, etc. So the smart posting is awesome. and then also the collaboration platform. So this is probably the one of the biggest things. And yes, so Heidi says that she loves the new feature, being able to schedule content repeatedly throughout the year. So it's like evergreen content, right? And content recycling, which is awesome. But for agencies, actually, if you've seen my webinars before, you'll see a study that I use a lot where I say that I think it's 82% of agency owners say their biggest difficulty is the time they spend trying to collaborate with their clients. So get their social media posts approved, backwards and forwards on email with them, phone calls with them, etc. And in the Promo Republic agency solution, there is this incredible collaboration platform. So you can see a little bit about what it looks like on the screen here, but basically you can upload your social media calendar and all of your content into Promo Republic. And the great thing about this too, actually, is if you're using the agency solution, we now offer a completely white labeled version. So instead of seeing all of the Promo Republic colors, the Promo Republic logo, you'll be able to have your agency logo, your agency colors, your agency domain, and white label everything, right? Which is incredible. Imagine what your clients will think of you and how professional you'll look. And basically, you can come in here, your clients can have access to this, and they can approve content, they can decline content, they can add comments, they can edit content, so that you can collaborate with your clients all in one place without having to mess around with backwards and forwards emails, anything like that. You can just create your content in Promo Republic, auto schedule it into the tool, and send it for approval to your clients. And this is something that is super, super powerful. Definitely speeds up that process of getting content approved. And I know as an agency owner myself, that is a huge problem. And one thing we've said multiple times in this webinar is that time is the only asset you can't buy more of and you can't get back. And of course, you can also separate out all of your different customers, all of the different profiles into different dashboards, etc., which can be really, really useful. So essentially, the Promo Republic agency solution has built out this workflow that is designed to save you time, help you serve more clients, and increase the efficiency of your agency, making sure that you can generate more revenue and have more time free to yourself, right? Which is super, super important. There actually is a comparison table between the Promo Republic agency solution, what's available, what's not, versus all of the other players out there. And I wanted to say that we actually did like a calculation for a typical social media agency. So let's say you manage 30 social media accounts and you have a team of 5 people and your clients need access to the tool. So you want the approval workflow features, and maybe you want to monitor mentions and hashtags of your clients' profiles too. So choosing Promo Republic over save you any between $600 and $5,500 a year based on Promo Republic versus the other tools agency solutions. So it kind of speaks for itself. Of course, there's some work to be done. There's plenty of additions we're looking to make to the tool and ways we're looking to improve the tool. Because I can see some of you have given some really great feedback in the chat already. But as an agency tool, a white labeled tool, something that has approval workflow, has a content library of over 100,000 post ideas that's updated every single month. No other tools have that. It has reporting coming soon. It has social media monitoring. We have this education and partner program. We can offer content as a service. Price is extremely, extremely competitive versus the others. So if anyone here isn't already using Promo Republic, or you are using Promo Republic but not on an agency level, and you're just using it at the standard level, and you'd want to find out and learn a little bit more about Promo Republic, I actually have an option for you. So we do, if you use this link that I'm going to share right now, you can book onto a call with Valentin, just a quick 15-minute call, and he'll answer any questions that you have. He'll show you the agency platform and what's great about it. But more importantly, if you use this link, we only share this on the webinars, don't share it anywhere else. If you share this link, there will also be a special offer made to you. So the price that you see, the agency package that starts from $99, if you use this link, there will actually be a discount offered on that price as well. But this is exclusive only for you guys on this webinar right now. So if you want to either sign up for the agency solution or you just want to find out a bit more, you have some questions about the agency solution, I would really recommend that you book on the call with Valentin. It'll be a really pleasant experience, I guarantee you that. And it will, he'll extend that special discount offer to you as well. So Marianne and Rhonda both say they don't see the link, which is interesting. So I just shared the link in the chat section. Okay. And I'm being told the link is no longer valid either. So, okay, everyone, bear with me for 2 seconds because I just pressed that link and it says it's not valid. So, give me 2 seconds because I'm going to get a fresh one for you. So, for anyone that does want the link, I've just actually pinged the team in chat in our like communication tool in Slack to get an updated link. Apologies that didn't work. I'm not sure why that is, but I will try and get that for you in the next couple of seconds. So let's go through whilst I'm working on that for you all. Let's go through questions. Who has questions? Okay, so Tracy, I just paid for package smart posting yesterday with Allah. Does this account include the collaboration feature? I'm not sure. It's hard for me to tell, Tracy. I'm not sure what you agreed with Allah. But if it's just the standard version of Premium Republic, then no, it won't include the collaboration feature. That's just on the agency platform. Also, these questions don't have to be specifically about Premium Republic. Like if you guys have questions about automation, agency growth, anything like that, I'm take them. And for anyone that wants the link to learn more and to speak with Valentin, just bear with me. I'm just talking to the team right now. So Joel says, what is the upgrade price to white label? Joel, are you currently using the agency solution? Yes. Okay, so if you're using the agency solution, I am 75, well, I'm going to say 90% sure that the cost is included. The white label is included. So you will have to, you would just have to like send me an email actually, or communicate with your customer success manager and ask them about that because it should be included. So everyone who wanted the link, here is a fresh one for you. So this link will now work, and you can use that link to book onto a call with Valentin, learn a bit more about the platform, get your special offer, your special price for you. Yeah, Joel. So you'll have to. Yeah, I don't think the option is like in the tool itself. You just have to speak to your customer success manager or someone on support. So Alex Moulson says that. Can you please tell me a bit more about non-agency related social media automation if I don't use Premium Republic? And I'm not going to. Sure. So what kind of stuff would you like help with, Alex? I can see that Sonia says that she also doesn't have white label, but she has the agency plan. Details are a bit confusing. Yeah, I understand that sometimes it may be a little bit confusing. It's because this package is very new and it's still growing, right? If you are interested in the white label, just if you speak with your CSM or someone on support, they'll be able to set you up with that and talk to you about the white label solution. And again, here is the link in the chat for where you can book a call with Valentin a bit more about the agent platform. Okay, so Alex says, for me as a social media marketer for my startup, most of the agency-oriented tools I know and use Zapier, of course. Okay, so it really depends what you require. Like in terms of social media automation, you don't really need to do a ton. Like the main things, if you're just starting out, is like a tool that has an auto scheduler. So Promo Republic or Hootsuite, Buffer, something like that. And then look into a tool called If This Then That. It's like IFFT, I think. I'll get it for you. This if this then that is like very similar to Zapier, but honestly, like if you're a small startup and you're doing some social media marketing, you don't need to do a ton of like automation with social media marketing. I would say the key things are finding a tool that lets you auto schedule content because that's what's going to save you a ton of time, and a tool that lets you recycle. So Promo Republic, Hootsuite, Buffer, any of the other tools out there. That's the kind of core stuff that you need. So Paul says, do people still use Google Plus? I'm pretty sure Google Google Plus very recently. I'm pretty sure, although discontinuing it because I don't know anyone that's ever used it ever. from like a social media marketing or working perspective anyway. So Rhonda says, how about the link for the first 10 webinars? Yep, I've got that for you also, Rhonda. Here you go. This is the agency hub where you'll find all the other webinars. Oh, okay. So Heidi says it is still running and people use it often. Interesting. I was so sure that Google Plus got shut down or was going to be shut down. Okay, they are shutting it down. Over the next 10 months, Google Plus is being shut down. I knew I'd read that. I knew I'd seen that. Google says that it currently has low usage and engagement, and that 90% of Google Plus user sessions last less than 5 seconds. How terrible is that? So it's being shut down. It will just take months to fully shut down the service. So Eva Esperanza says, or Espana, I was late to the party, not sure if you mentioned this. Do you guys provide a managed service that we can sell to our clients? So that's a good question. There's a managed service for like Facebook ads. There's a managed service for content creation. I'm not sure about like a full social media marketing managed service, but I would recommend maybe getting onto a call with Valentin and asking him, because he'll definitely be able to help you out about that. Interesting what Heidi's saying about putting posts on Google Plus and then finding her on the first page of Google. May have to try and find some like alternatives now then, Heidi, with Google Plus shutting down. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about SEO, so I just know that as like a networking platform, Google Plus kind of failed hard, right? And also, everyone, I want to apologize for the audio issues. As I've said, unfortunately, it's like something that I just can't control. There's reasons why the team want to use ClickMeeting because of the email automation and everything like that. It's not my decision, unfortunately, but as I said, it's not my audio setup, it's not my Wi-Fi, so I just do the best I can. And thank you for sticking around, for everyone that made it this far. And again, I can only apologize about the audio issues. Does anybody else have any other questions for me at all? Also, there shouldn't be any audio issues at all with the next 2 webinars, because I'm actually going to be away for the next 2 weeks. I will be completely off the grid. I'm going to a Vipassana meditation retreat where I have 10 days with no phone, no computer, no access to the outside world, basically. So the next 2 webinars for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to pre-record them. So they won't be live, they won't be as interactive, but they'll still be useful. So please tune into them. But then there definitely won't be any audio problems with those, because they'll be pre-recorded, or at least I hope not. So again, I just want to say a big thank you to you all for sticking through this. I can see there's still a number of you here, so I'm hoping that means that you did find it like useful and beneficial, because that's why I do these, right? I want to add value to you and help you out. One last time, I put the link here to book onto a call with Valentin if you want to learn a bit more about the agency solution. And I think we will wrap up there. So thank you everyone for joining me today. It was good to see you all, good to spend time with you. And I will speak to you live again in a couple of weeks' time. But please tune in for the webinars over the next couple of weeks too. Thank you, everybody.